Well, this visit obviously comes at a very important time. Aside from the fact that we can see how successful it was, it comes after the visit of Michael Pompeo to the region, of which Baghdad and, of course, Iraq was one of them. And to be blunt, obviously he's there. One of the major reasons is to pull Iraq away from Iran. It makes no punches about that, the U.S. foreign policy, that's one of its objectives. Now, the question is, will the U.S. be successful?
The American threat to Iran has to be seen in the context of the American defeat in Syria, because Washington is mindful that its objective in Syria, namely to overthrow the Syrian government, has been defeated, and the Americans have been humiliated by that defeat. Also, Washington is acutely aware that its allies in the Middle East have seen the American objective in Syria be defeated. So the Americans are attempting to reassert their dominance over the Middle East by reassuring its principal allies, Saudi Arabia and Israel, but also Egypt and the other Gulf countries, that America's grip on the Middle East will remain intact, that America is not leaving. And of course, what better course of action for Washington to take to reassure its allies in the Middle East that America is still supreme in the region than going after Iran. So that is why the Americans now are becoming more and more determined to pile on the pressure on Iran. And the Americans don't necessarily have to resort to military action against Iran to overthrow the Iranian government and destroy the Islamic Revolution. They can, of course, and they are indeed, using their massive economic leverage to try and destroy the Iranian economy. Now, the Americans know that Iraq is a very important friend and ally to Iran. That is why they are piling on pressure on Baghdad to stop trading with Iran. And regrettably, the Americans do have a lot of influence on Iraq. After all, the Americans have military bases in Iraq, and much of the Iraqi economic infrastructure is now controlled by American companies. Nonetheless, I think the Iraqis, being a very proud people, will stand up to the diktats coming from Washington.
Thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. Marcus Papadopoulos, publisher and editor at Politics First from London.